Hi, this is the My Camping Adventures channel, and I'm taking you on a little trip to set up a Clark Jungle Hammock. I am in land adjacent to the Allegheny National Forest, and I'm going to have a short weekend of adventure, my camping adventure, and share it with you all. This is a great little area, and I'm going to partake and set up my Clark Jungle Hammock live, or at least via GoPro. Now, when I come camping, I generally leave some provisions behind, and I generally take the kitchen sink when I can. This is a Clark Jungle Hammock, an original Clark Jungle Hammock before they were bought out. And a lot of times when you go camping, you don't want to spend a lot of time or effort setting up, or you want to go in the middle of nowhere and simply have shelter. What I like to do is tie these knots that I just tied, because they're very simple to get out of. The first thing I try and do when I set up my hammock, and hopefully I got the right camera angle here, is kind of measure where it's gonna be. You want kind of a banana peel lean. Okay, so I kind of make it taut at first. Gonna throw this over the tree. It's pretty simple. Okay, the hammock's really taut now, but once you get your weight into it, it's going to sag a little. Also, what I want to do is I want to double wrap the rope here so I can control how much it leads. Then I'm going to simply tie a knot that I could easily release if need be. Okay, took about 3 minutes, and my hammock, the hammock part at least, is pretty much set up. Now what I like to do before I do anything else is I like to sit in the hammock. It's gonna pull down a little bit, and see if, yeah, that should hold pretty nice. Ropes and the knots are holding. It's kind of where I want to be once I put my weight into it. Next, I'm going to utilize this Thermarest hammock pad that I bought, called the Slacker. It's a hammock pad specifically built for hammocks. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to search for a lot of this stuff, because in the past 5 years there's become a lot less product available. Thermarest, Slacker. Okay, the cool thing, if you look at this pad, there's strips of padding, but it bends with you. It bends with you when you're sleeping in your hammock, so you're not uncomfortable as you would be with a traditional pad. Now, the other thing is, even though you're off the ground, you're still going to get cold air coming up from the bottom of the hammock. Now, one ingenious way, Clark, and you can still get these online, search for them, put these pockets here. These pockets allow you to store gear and get at it at night, okay? And also create and trap air. So let's say that I wanted to put a rain jacket in case I need it. What I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna just open one of these pockets, rain jacket hangs down, I got it if I need it. Now, next thing with this Thermarest, put some air into it. You don't want to overinflate these. This is going to make the night a lot more comfortable. Okay, you can see the air, it's kind of going in. There's still room for more air. Gotta put a little more in. Now theoretically, this is a self-inflating pad, but I'm really never that patient. Again, it's not to my firmness or my liking. Okay, I think we're there. Okay, so we got the mattress pad in. Next, I always like to get my camp ready before I go anywhere else. And I'm going to be going on an off-road adventure after this. Right now, an oldie but a goodie. I think they're still online. Wiggies. Wiggies. My Wiggies bag. Wiggies, Lamilite insulated, made in America in Grand Junction, Colorado. The Wiggies founder came up with this free-floating, solid, silicone bonded fill. Since it's free-floating in the sleeping bag and it's continuous, there's no cold spots. Since it's hydrophobic, it'll actually, you can save a hypothermia victim with one of these bags. You can actually put a wet person in this bag, and it's the only sleeping bag where they'll dry out, bag will suck the moisture out of them, and they'll stay warm. And it's made in America. Like I said, always pay a little bit more for good gear. You don't have to pay like top dollar for the fancy foo-foo name brand, but find the gear that most likely fits your needs and is going to keep you alive. Okay, this is a Wiggy's 20-degree bag. It's supposed to get down to about 35 tonight. I should be fine, especially with this mattress pad. Okay, so now what I like to do is I like to unzip it. The only drawback to Wiggy's bags is they don't compress real well, so if you're trying to shove it in a 4,500 cubic degree pack, good luck. But you can strap it on the outside or figure out how to carry it. If you want to go in the backwoods with them, you're golden. For that need, I generally have the Marmot 20 down bag. Now, okay, so I dumped everything out and it fell on the ground. And guess what? I gotta go walk back and get the inserts that go in there and make it look like a tent, give you some headroom and such. So back I go. Got a tick here last June, unfortunately, and I thought I'd bring some stuff to spray, but unfortunately you need a garden hose, which I didn't read the instructions on, so I just dumped it along the trail a little bit, keep it away from the water. Hopefully it'll help. Got to get something to mow this area. You always forget one thing when you're camping. That's why, or something's not going to work. That's why there's the old adage, 2 is 1, 1 is none. Okay? Now, hopefully, didn't see my plate there. Yeah, my Jeep's stuffed to the gills. Got the Goody Bear Grylls pack. I'm a nostalgic guy. Back in the day when they were clearing these out. Got the old Bear Grylls pack. Hiked numerous times with it. This is under $100. Great fun pack to have. Okay. Again, filled to the gills. And hopefully in here I shoved the, yep, right here. Kind of need those. All right. These are gonna make this look like a tent, and you're off the ground, which is a good thing. Hope you're enjoying this poor man's Truman Show, me setting up my Clark Jungle Hammock. Wasn't supposed to rain, so of course it's cloudy. It's been raining for a week straight. So we'll see. Okay. Get these. Put these here. And you got to build the pole. I love the simplicity, the versatility, and the design of this Clark hammock tent. Yeah. Get what God means about threading the eye of the needle. I pray that I will, through him and his son, Jesus, because it's hard enough for me on my own to get this through here. And no matter what you think, one drawback of these, poles kind of fall apart, so it's kind of hard to get through here without some suffering. But here's the thing, you want to make sure you hold on to your stuff. When you're in a survival situation, you can't replace something you lose. It's better to take your time, unlike the rest of the world that's always in a hurry. Measure twice, cut once, do it once. How cool is that? All right, so we're gonna do this one now. And that's gonna give me some headroom tonight. Maybe I'll even do a GoPro video. And we're gonna put this guy up right here. Now, I could turn that way and walk, and I'm going to be very soon in the Allegheny National Forest. Okay, there's only 2 cutouts here. That's where I took my little adventure several years ago, where I found the extra large footprint, and when I came out the next morning, there was an owl skull hanging by the tree I walked in at that wasn't there the night before. I took it as a little gift from however it got there. I should have kept it. I hung it back on the tree, and then eventually it was gone. Okay, there we go. Now, whoop. See how you make one little mistake and you got to kind of start over again. All right, now here's the thing. This is my shelter. This is my home. This is my protection. Take the time to do it right and take care of your gear. I don't care if this takes me a half hour, and it should take 10 minutes. If I'm messing up, I'm gonna get it right. Okay, because here's the thing. That's what's nice about camping like this. You're entirely dependent. Okay, see if we can get that through. There we go. You don't want to force stuff. You don't want to force stuff and rip stuff. There we go. Okay, so that's set up. What I next do is, this is a no-see-um, an actual no-see-um bug netting. Hopefully you guys can see, and I got the GoPro camera angle right. This always annoys me, where the zippers end up and then you can't. Got a little hole there I taped. One other thing I found in this, it kind of pulls itself, so it's very hard to zip this. And you want to be nice, you don't want to rip anything, so I'm comfortable with the, careful with the zippers. Then what we got here is we got a sil nylon type tarp that comes with the unit, or you can buy. I strongly advise it, although there's a weather shield cover that goes over this. We get monsooned on, and you just want the most protection you can get. What I do then is I take this guy right here and I look where the ends are, because this is one end where it says Clark. Okay, the underneath coating side, and I put that here. Now I'm going to have to get some 10 stakes out, finish this properly. Oddly, they don't give you stakes. I guess you can make your own in the wilderness, but okay, I'm gonna measure this out. Now, where did other things say? Clark, you gotta find the right thing here. Okay, so that's one, and then that slides off for you. What I'm gonna probably end up do really quickly is I'm gonna grab one of the guy ropes and tie it. These come with it. Instructions, yuck, I've never read. And I'm gonna get one of these. This tent has kept me alive in multiple, several day excursions over the years that I've had it, out in the middle of nowhere, and it's still in workable condition. Okay, that's where you buy quality gear, and you find companies like Clark, that's an American company, or Wiggy's, to get that quality gear from. Okay. Ay. Okay. I'm trying. Can't walk and chew gum at the same time, apparently. Okay, and I always like at least double this knot and cinch it, but it's so easy to tighten, and it's so easy to then unloose. Now this is where I wish I was in a 5'8", 5'9" Sicilian. Wish I was tall like Shaq. Okay, or somebody. All right, so the trick here is to get it above where the other rope is. Okay, then tie it off. And again, once is probably enough with this knot, but I always do it twice. Measure twice, cut once. All right, I'm dedicating this video to my friend Matt. All right, come on out here with me, Matt. I got an extra jungle hammock for you. Okay, now to the wonderful subscriber who said, I love your channel, or love me actually, I'll take that, believe me. Take me camping with you. Well, my family always bugged me that with all the crap I do, all the adventures I've had, that I should film myself and put it on YouTube and people would watch. Well, I'm not cute. I think I'm cute, but you know, that's subjective. And been busy with life. But you know what, at the same time, who's gonna remember when I'm gone? And who's gonna be able, am I gonna be able to share this with now? Because a lot of times I'm out here by myself in the middle of nowhere, and a lot of the things I've seen and a lot of things I've done, I never had a camera, never was able to show anybody how to do this. And my hope is that if I do this and you see this, in a way you are going camping with me, that you're here and neither one of us are alone, and we're both having an adventure. Okay, I like these knots because if I'm in a hurry, if it's raining, if I gotta leave camp in a hurry, which is an oxymoron now that I'm 60 almost, but you can do it. Now, like my little jungle gym step stool here. All right, it's a pain in my rear to get this over sometimes. Sorry for the suggestive language there. All right, nice thing about these ropes these are waterproof or water resistant. Okay, I like to tie one of these, not tie one of these off, but twirl this twice as well. And if any of you are wondering, is that's a cross I made to have out here to look over this site. And so, as they say, there are no atheists in the foxholes or in the woods. All right. And you know what? Sad part is, I'd have been sitting home right now, probably watching reruns of Survivor, man, on the TV, eating chips, watching my LDL go up. But hey, I could be out here. Now, the whole pain in the butt thing is I need stakes to finish this. Okay? And hopefully I did this right on that side. Kind of keep a little cache here of stuff I might forget. Oh, jeez. Almost fell backwards. That would have been fun. Okay. Again, this is live. Anything could happen. That is where I heard the growling from that I didn't know what the heck it was. I'll be so happy if there are 10 steaks in here. If not, I gotta go another place. Well, thought there were. And there might be. I just don't see any at this moment. So, we're gonna go to plan B. Okay. So I fall backwards again. Oh. Okay. Plan B. See, I've gravitated towards, because I forget shit. And there's nothing in here that anybody would want. Trying to keep the animals away. That bay, at least, there's not food in here, but probably rust and rainwater. Okay, there's got to be somewhere in here. There's got to be 10 steaks. There's got to be. All right, and we're gonna find them. Fire starting stuff, all the survival stuff you'd need if you forgot survival stuff. Okay, first aid, WD-40 and Dawn. Do anything with those. T-shirt, got for $2 at Dollar General. Yeah, a lot of rain. It's in here. Look at that, ran right off. Okay, wow, this thing's almost full of water from all the rain we've had for a week. Here's a couple 10 steaks right here. Thankfully, everything kept dry enough, but look at this. Look, I've never seen so much water in here. I'm going to have to drain that. All right, so best laid plans of mice and men here, huh? All right, well, I got 2 steaks here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this guy right here and we're gonna guy this out right here. Put a stake in the ground. It's 49 degrees out, so you want to get your shelter up. Okay, so we're gonna come here. And I'm just making sure, yeah, this is the undercoating side. I'll make sure you put the right side out. We're going to tie that knot. Like this. you know, and I kind of starting to understand Les Stroud and Survival Man, how hard it is to film while you're trying to survive, and you always run into unexpected stuff like that trunk that I lifted off the ground on logs last time to keep water out of it, still somehow managed to fill up. So I'm going to take this side right here and I'm going to guide down on this stake through this hole here. Wind's kicking up, so that's why I always put my shelter up first. You always, whenever you get to a site or your destination, no matter what else, you get your shelter up first, because you just don't know what's going to happen. Okay, so yeah, see how windy it's getting? All right, so I'm going to guide this out like this, and you also want to put your stake at a 45-degree angle so it ain't going to pull out. And I kind of notch that tight. Again, I pull it extra tight. I don't care if I get a little grass in there. Pull this through, and creature habit, go with the same knot. Then it cinches and it's tight. Okay, so that's one. Now I'm going to go do the other side. You also want to make sure that this overlaps the end of your hammock, which it does on both sides. Okay, so then we're going to pull this side out. See where the tab is? Might have to move the hammock down a little bit when I'm done, because I want coverage by like where my head is. Gonna make a knot here. Do the same thing. Leave yourself enough to do it twice. Okay, and I'm sure there are not guys out there saying I'm doing this all wrong. Probably am, but it works for me. Okay, this channel is really just about sharing my knowledge, my adventures, my gear picks with you, and to hopefully motivate you to show that if me, this 60-year-old guy, almost can do this, you can. And it's a heck of a lot better than watching some guy do it on Netflix while you're sitting there eating chips and watching your coronary arteries fill up. But I digress, because I have chips in my bag too, but I figure if I get cold enough, it'll be good carbs, and I could also start a fire with them. Now, okay, gonna do this side, and then pretty much my shelter is ready to go. I'm gonna stop filming, probably upload this as soon as I get a cell signal. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, and I gotta figure out how to get water out of there. All right. The last knot is always the most fun. Okay, and just for the sake of it, although one's gonna hold, I do it twice. Okay, and we are golden. Now, this, because it's not supposed to rain, is probably gonna work. Ideally, I would have liked to have a little bit more overlap here, but this is the My Camping Adventures channel, and this is me setting up my Clark Jungle Hammock for the night before I go on my adventure off-roading in the Allegheny Forest. Please like, click, share, and please subscribe. GoPro, stop recording.